Hello there guys and welcome, it is Niran here, and today it's time for me to welcome you back to yet another episode of our Leicester City career mode here on FIFA 16. Today we are going to be finishing up the transfer window. We've got two games as well, one the second leg of the League Cup semi-final against Liverpool and then a league game against Bournemouth, followed by deadline day. And last time I gave you guys the choice of any player whatsoever that you wanted me to buy, because we've got about £35 million left over, also a few players still left to sell, so we've still got quite a lot of money in hand to use, and you guys went ham with some of the suggestions, but we'll go over that in a moment. I also gave you guys the chance to vote on whether I should counter-offer for Brildol Embolo, and as you can see in the background, you guys voted yes, I should counter-offer in somewhere in the region of around about 40 mil. Realistically, I don't think that would get taken anyway, but Bayer Leverkusen bid 20 mil, and we have counter-offered 38 mil. And as you can see, Bayer Leverkusen were not happy with that bid whatsoever and have hence ended their interest in the Swiss striker. But going back to the player that you guys wanted me to buy, a couple of you guys were saying this kid, Alen Halilovic, the Croatian midfielder, a lot like Ivan Rakitic, actually, obviously playing for the same team and for the same nation. He got a few votes. He's about 90 potential in the game, not entirely sure about on my save though. We also got Antoine Griezmann, who signed for Borussia Dortmund on this game. Kurt Zuma, don't know why, but the Chelsea defender was suggested a few times. And then Luis Suarez. I mean, if we could sign Luis Suarez, that would be astonishing. I highly doubt it, though. We'll have to see what goes down. £17.5 million was what Barcelona wanted for Alen Halilovic. PSG, who signed Luis Suarez at some point during the save, said they didn't want to sell Luis Suarez at any cost. £11 million was the price tag for Kurt Zuma, and Borussia Dortmund were also keen not to sell their prize asset as he has just signed for them in this save. So there's three players out of the four that we can at least try and make a bid for. There's no point going in for Griezmann, that won't work, but we can at least try and go in for Halilovic. We've got plenty of money to get him, got plenty of money to get Kurt Zuma, and we've also got plenty of hope that potentially we could pull off the greatest signing of all time and get Luis Suarez from PSG. We've got £33.5 million. First of all, though, we're offering £30 million plus a player in £20 million plus a player in return, being Brildol Embolo. More out of hope, really, than expectation. You guys said I could counter-offer for Embolo, so I was like, I might as well use him as a sort of a counterweight in this deal, see where it gets me, and if they do accept that, then maybe I can change the player, try and adjust the money involved or whatever. But now it is time for the first game of today's episode. We'll have to see if we can pull off one of the greatest signings in all FIFA history a little bit later on. I highly doubt it, let's be honest. But this game actually signals a debut for this man on the screen, Domenico Berardi, who we just signed from Sassuolo in the Italian league. But in the background you can see the squad for today's game. Obviously Berardi making his debut, Dybala and Embolo up front, Nampalys Mendy actually coming into the side to play alongside N'Golo Kante as a holding midfielder, and Christian Fuchs is also in for Foucault Masuaku, and Fuchs are immediately having an impact on the game, setting away Riyad Mahrez here down the right hand side, who cuts past Jordan Ibe and forces a wonderful save there out of Simon Mignolet from the resulting corner. Nampalys Mendy's going to swing it in towards Paulo Dybala, goes for the shot, it's blocked by Ibe, Dybala gets there, it's fall in the box for someone, it's Domenico Berardi on his debut. 14 minutes into the Italian's debut, having signed from Sassuolo, he has given us the lead, and it is a dream start for us, and a dream start to Domenico Berardi's Leicester career. Oh my word, in the right place at the right time, clearly. How Dybala won that, I'm not entirely sure, but Berardi getting the goal into the second half, and Berardi's on a run again. He skipped past Lucas Leiva, now he's trying to get past Thiago Iori, and he's done so. Now he's bearing down on goal. Can he make something happen? He goes for the shot, and it deflects off Martin Skrtel and goes in. And what a debut Domenico Berardi is having in this second leg of this Capital One Cup semi-final. We're on the way to the final at the moment. We had a 2-1 lead going into the game on aggregate. Now it's 4-1. Liverpool need 4 goals, and Berardi's on the run again. Wonderful reverse pass to Bruno Perez, but it's a save with defeat from Simon Mignolet. Berardi is absolutely all over the place, making things happen. Wonderful running, wonderful shooting as well. It's the perfect debut for the Italian, and it ends in a victory as well. The game ends 2-0, signalling our path completion into the final of the Capital One Cup with a 2-0 victory on the night over Liverpool and a 4-1 win on aggregate. Berardi only getting a 7. He was my man of the match in reality, although Kasper Schmeichel got that for some reason, having not, I think he pulled out 1 save all game, but there you go. That's this game's ratings of system for you. But that is the end of the game, and what a performance from Domenico Berardi. Absolutely epic on his debut. In the background though, back to transfer activity, we're actually asking the board for a bit more money, asking for £10 million in order to reach the final of the cup, which we've already done. So it's a bit of a cheating way really of getting some more money off the board at the end of a January transfer window. We've used it before, we're using it again, we're going to try and get a lot of money. That is a little bit, in all honesty, that's a little bit hopeful and a little bit optimistic. And as you can see, the board were not willing to offer us the full 10 million. They went for 4.6 in the end, but every little helps. At the end of the day, we need a little bit of money if we're going to try and pull off any of the transfers that you guys wanted me to do in the comment section from last time, so every little helps. Luis Suarez, unsurprisingly, is going to be a lot harder to get than we were anticipating. Probably impossible to get realistically, but we've had a bid rejected, and we're now going to stuff in a slightly different bid. We're going to put Dybala in instead. And then plus £34.5 million, as well as Paulo Dybala for a 90 overall player. It would definitely be worth it, but whether it's going to happen or not, I'm not entirely sure. Dybala's obviously been in good form recently, so that might sway PSG. Not entirely sure. We'll have to see how it goes. But I would probably prefer to keep Embolo than Dybala if we were going to somehow get Luis Suarez. Nevertheless, it is now time to get into the second game of today's episode against Bournemouth, and we're back to a BPL action after quite a lot of cup games in recent episodes, as is usually the case in January. We are finally back to some league action. Klosterman's into the side for Bruno Perez. Karius is back in, of course, for Schmeichel, Masuaku, Drinkwater as well back into the side, and Jamie Vardy will also replace Dybala for this one too. 13 minutes into the game though, Fukurata Masuaku making things happen with some really powerful and forceful and positive running, finding Drinkwater on the right hand side. The cross comes in, it's actually found Masuaku again in the middle. And what a save that is from Rui Patricio. Really, Masuaku should have done better, but at the end of the day, he's a left back. And I think he hit that with his right foot. I'm not entirely sure from the resulting corner. And Kulu with a free header, and he didn't even put that on target. Probably should have done a lot better. That's two big chances for two defenders very early on in the game. Drinkwater with some nice passing play to Kante. He's found Embolo in all sorts of space. And Brill Donald Embolo is there to score and give us the lead after 27 minutes. Hints of offside actually about that, but some lovely passing play between Drinkwater and Kante. A few give and goes, then finding Embolo, who rifles the ball in with his weaker foot past Rui Patricio at the near post into the top corner, and we lead 1-0 just before the half-an-hour mark. Klosterman swinging a ball into the box there. It's only gone as far as Drinkwater and then Vardy, but it's blocked there by Dan Gosling. Putting a lot of pressure here though onto Bournemouth. I expected a bit more in terms of attacking play really. Speaking of attacking play though, Domenico Berardi appears to have nutmegged someone. He's then found Kante. Mahrez is on the overlap, and Mahrez has given us a 2-0 lead, doubling our lead here against Bournemouth at the King Power Stadium. And yet again, Domenico Berardi with some incredible dribbling to make that happen. Yes, Kante gets the assist, but that was all made by Domenico Berardi, and it was finished off by the other winger, Riyad Mahrez. Now into the second half, wonderful give and go between Luka Zahovic off the bench and Jamie Vardy, but the save is there from Rui Patricio to keep the scoreline respectable for Bournemouth into injury time actually, and Bournemouth piling people forward. And Steve Cook actually could have got a goal back for the Seaside Club, or the South Coast Club. I don't know why I said Seaside Club. The South Coast Club. Unfortunately, he only steered the header into the side netting, and we still win the game 2-0. N'Golo Kante with man of the match. Good ratings as well for Danny Drinkwater, Embolo and Mahrez. But once again, Domenico Berardi just spicing up things with a little moment of magic. Not necessarily on a ridiculously regular basis, but that's 3 times in 2 games now. If you can carry that on across the season, that's just absolutely incredible. But as you can see in the background, Kevin Wimmer, someone who's not really part of our plans anymore, regrettably actually, because he's been a pretty decent servant for the club. This season he really hasn't got into form whatsoever though, and we've put him up for sale. Bournemouth, actually, the team that we've just beaten, are wanting to make a bid for him, piling in 2 bids of £6 million. They're unwilling to negotiate really, but they did in the end match a £6.5 million counter offer for the Austrian centre-back. So Kevin Wimmer will be on his way down to the South Coast to Bournemouth, and he'll hopefully pass a medical and sign for them, and that should be all good. Hopefully he gets some more first-team football there, because regrettably he hasn't got too much. But as you can see, PSG incredibly have accepted our offer for Luis Suarez. Now, I'm still going to try and sign Alen Halilovic, because I don't think Luis Suarez will accept a contract offer, okay? Why would he change PSG for Leicester at the end of the day? But however, if we can make this happen, we're going to make a 200k bid 2 years, crucial first team player, and Luis Suarez has accepted a move to Leicester out of nowhere. We've never done anything like this before on this channel. We've never signed an outright superstar. However, look at this. Luis Suarez, 90 overall player. How can I not accept that? 34.5 mil plus Paulo Dybala, who's going to a better place. He's going to go to PSG and play some football. But out of absolutely nowhere, we have actually made a signing for Luis Suarez work. It was suggested in the comments section. I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do that, but I will try. And it's actually happened. The absolute scenes. £34.5 million for Luis Suarez, a 90 overall striker. He is 31, but at the end of the day, we've only got like half a season left of this series, so we might as well try and get something out of him. Age isn't really going to matter. He's not exactly going to decline that much. But 90 overall striker, you can see his stats there. And now as we head on to deadline day, we have pulled off one of the most outrageous signings in all Barclays Premier League history. However, we have sold Kevin Wimmer now, so we've actually got some more money that we can pump into wages to still get this kid. I was thinking, you know, we could spend 17.5 mil on Alan Halilovic and then miss out on Luis Suarez, but he's a sporadic first team player. Why don't I just make a loan bid for him? We might as well. If he's a sporadic first team player, Barcelona are going to allow him to go out on loan. So I can still get the guy that most people wanted in the comment section, but we've also managed to pull off a superstar signing as well. This could be the greatest deadline day / transfer window in all history. We're also looking at Demarai Gray because he's signed for Leicester in real life, and I sort of alluded to wanting to make that signing at some point. He's only got 6 months left on his contract, so our chief executive reckons we can get him for 1.8 mil, so we're going to listen to him. I feel as if that's very low in terms of a transfer fee. We've got the money to bump that up, and in the end we're going to have to, because Birmingham actually rejected that £1.8 million bid, so we're just going to stick it up to £4 million. We don't have to spend the rest of the 4.1 mil on anything. We've already got Luis Suarez somehow, and Alan Halilovic will only be a loan signing, so we don't actually have to pay any sort of transfer fee for him. With 7 hours though of deadline day left to go, you can see Barcelona did in fact accept that loan offer, 60k in wages, 1 year. So in the end, I mean, it looked as if we weren't going to get Halilovic, obviously, because we just wiped out all our money on flipping Luis Suarez, but we can just get him on loan instead, so I've still managed to somehow do what people wanted me to do. I don't know. Honestly, I'm just not entirely sure. Birmingham, though, have accepted our renewed bid for Demarai Gray of £4 million. That's absolutely fine. He's 73 overall, 21 years of age. Probably going to come in as a squad rotation player, as you can see in terms of the squad role. 30k contract in terms of wages, and I think it was a 3-year deal, 4-year deal, something along the lines of that. As you can see, he accepted that contract offer, unsurprisingly, because he's playing in the Championship and we're playing in the Premier League. We're going to go ahead and accept that offer, so that's Demarai Gray then following in the Uruguayan superstar Luis Suarez. Didn't think I'd be saying that. To Leicester, and we're also getting Alan Halilovic on loan. Not exactly the way I would have expected to sign him going into the recording of this episode. We've got him on loan, so I suppose it doesn't matter at the end of the day. We've only got half a season left of this series realistically, so it doesn't matter how we sign him as long as we have him in the squad realistically. We'll see his overall and we'll see Demarai Gray's as well in a moment. We're going to go ahead though and accept that loan offer, so that is absolutely fine. Alan Halilovic will sign on loan, and here you can see his attributes. He's 80 overall. Like, the transfer business we have done in this episode is disgusting. We've signed Luis Suarez for £34.5 million. We've signed Alan Halilovic on loan as an 80 overall central midfielder. And we've also got Demarai Gray as well to add to squad depth. The one negative is that Paulo Dybala has left because he was used as a sort of a weight in the Suarez deal. And that was literally only because I wasn't expecting them to accept it. I just wanted to test my limits. And then they ended up accepting it. And I was like, well, I can't turn this down now. So, regrettably, Dybala has left. He did have a pretty decent impact on the squad in the end, although it was a bit of a flop at first, but he did have a decent impact on the squad in the end, and I wish him all the best at PSG. Hopefully, we'll sign him in a future FIFA, because I did start to really like him, and to be honest, I had to go and ask my dad whether I should sign Luis Suarez in a FIFA career mode. That's how torn I was as to whether I should do it, but nevertheless, Dybala's off to PSG. We have signed Luis Suarez. All the best to Dybala. We'll probably sign him in a future career mode on a future FIFA, because he is a very very good player, and hopefully he's even better on future FIFAs. Nevertheless, that is the end of today's episode. A bonkers, balmy episode of Leicester career. If you have enjoyed, feel free to hit the likes button. I realise some of you may have not wanted me to do that, but I just wanted to have a bit of fun with the end of the series, you know, go outrageous and do something ridiculous. But I do apologise to those who didn't want it. But if you did enjoy it, like, subscribe if you're new around here as well, comment about enjoying the video if you enjoyed it that much. It's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a great day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.
No, that's not me. Act like a waste man, that's